My name is Nathan Bino. This is our parking system app. This is the main page. We would first create the account and I would create an email, which is nathanbino567@gmail.com. My password would be 123456. I've used a factory pattern to implement the different client types. I'll select student for now and register. Successful registration. We go back. Now we log in with that account detail. And the password is 123456, and we log in.
So here we can see nathanbinu567@gmail.com in the Firebase console. He had registered as a student. Currently we have a balance of 0. Now additionally, what I can do is I can go in authentication and I can see nathanbinu567@gmail.com. I click this and I can reset password, I can disable account, and I can delete account.
Hi, my name is Walid and I'll be explaining the booking page here. As you can see, we have our user type defined in the corner. We can select the lot we want to book our place in. So let's say I want to book in the Founders College lot and I want to book in lot number 8. So I can do that. Now to select my time, I'm only allowed to select a timeline in the same day itself. I want to book the parking between 10 and 11:15. I can do that and I can confirm it. And as you can see, here it confirms the timing. Now again, the same design pattern can be used and you can see your vehicle type is again shown different types. Now, if I have a convertible, I have to enter some basic information. We're basically simulating the sensor as well through this. Now, I have a BMW and my license plate number could be anything, right? So if I just do this and if I try to book the space, as you can see, I have a license plate format, which is in line with how it's done in our area. And basically, the guidelines have been given, so I have to be following that. So to follow that, if I try to do it, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I do like a B7, or as you can see, everything's done. If I try to book the space, it will ask me to pay, and the payment rate has been calculated. It says insufficient funds. Now Nathan will explain how you're supposed to load your funds.
So we essentially have a system card simulation at the top right hand side of the screen. We could so for us to start a booking, we have used a strategy pattern to apply different costs associated to the different type of clients that we have. So we'd first have to load funds before we can make a successful booking space. So we load funds, we put about, let's say, 25, and we have to enter our card number. So it would be a 16-digit card number. So that's 16 digits, and we have 3 digits for the CVV. We confirm the payment, and there we go. We see 25 loaded up in the student balance account. Now, if we try booking the space, there's an amount due which is 6.65 calculated in payment rates with the strategy pattern. We pay now, and it says successfully been booked for 75 minutes, and you can see the deduction in balance at the top of the screen.
So now I can show you in the Firebase everything that's happened. So we had originally in users, we had the username of nathanbinu567@gmail.com. He loaded funds, $25, and then he paid an amount. And now you can see it's already been confirmed, and it's 1835 in his balance in the Firestore. And now what we've also done is we've booked at Founders College lot 006, right? So right here we can see all the information. nathanbinu5678@gmail.com. He's a student, he has a convertible, he's booked, and he starts at 22 o'clock to 23:15. He's booked for 75 minutes, and we have all of his license plate information. This will simulate also the sensor logic.
Okay, as you can see here, we have our booking details from here from the last time. It is saved dynamically in the Firestore database, and I have my options to cancel, edit, or extend. So let's explore these features. If I try to extend my booking, a pop-up appears. What this pop-up does is it gives the assumption that you can choose your own perfect time. And when you extend it, now let's say I want to do till 23:30, right? I want to book it till then. It asks you to pay this amount. Now you can proceed with this payment, and it again gives you a $1.65 which are due on your account. And when you pay it, you can see here in this part the deduction goes through. Now there are other options to edit the booking. Now you can update it again. Now you can see if you've done it once, you're not allowed to do it again, and it just shows you the current update. Now, if I want to cancel this booking, I can always go here and they ask, are you sure you want to cancel the booking? Because you can see it's before the time as well right now. And if I want to cancel it, it goes away. Now, this is also removed away from the Firestore database, and this will be shown by my friend Ali.
So here we've got Founders Lot College, or Founders College Lot 008. This was booked by Nathan Bino 657, right? We have the same status, student, everything. Now what we've done, we've extended the booking to 23:30, and we have also canceled it. So it's canceled, but it's stored in the Firestore because we will always want to save data from users, but it won't show up on the app. So additionally, what we also have done, when we extended the booking, it cost us some money, and now the balance is also reflected in the Firestore. We have a balance of 16.70 cents, $16.70.
Hi, my name is Harmandeep Arneja, and I'll be explaining the sensor observer.java class. So this will go over the requirement 4, which mainly deals with the deposit requirement from the user, and it'll also handle when the booking turns to a no-show in the first hour if the user does not check in, and it will not refund the deposit that the user makes. So this all happens inside this class. So first, we implemented the observer pattern with this interface. We have this method created, which is on car detected, and this will basically store the sensor object, which will maintain these list of dependent objects. So the car license plate, parking space, whether the user has a valid booking, and the start time. So these are the observers, and the sensor class. Moving on to the sensor class, it'll detect the car. So based on the booking start time and if the booking is valid, it'll detect the car, and it'll also notify the observers. The observers will be the deposit handler class, so it'll notify them of like car information such as the license plate, parking space, and the booking. So once all that information from the sensor class feeds into the main logic here that we have in the deposit handler class, it'll retrieve all the information from the database and implement these methods. So this public void on car detected, it'll detect the car, and based on the deadline set, so which will be 1 hour after the booking is made. So if the booking is valid and the user checks in before the deadline, it'll process the deposit return for that associated car. Otherwise, it'll mark it as no show and won't return the refund. Next is the return. This basically just outputs a message for the user that your deposit has been refunded. Moving on to the no show. So when the user inputs their email and type, it retrieves all that information and the deposit amount. So if the user does not check in within that 1 hour, they'll have to pay that deposit amount, which is calculated with the payment rates. So that's the logic for this class. Thank you. Alright, so I'm in the account that we made earlier with the user ID Nathan Binu 567. So under his account, we did make a booking. I'm just going to show them a view my bookings feature where I can go to check in. Let's say I want to make a new booking with Shula School parking lot 3. I can select the time from here to here, which will be from 10:30 to 11:45. Car brand, let's say I'm parking a Tesla, and my license plate is 123. Let's just do this. And I've booked the space. I pay now, and it just subtracts the money from my balance. So we've seen earlier. I can now go to view my bookings and see that I've had this one that was from previously that's been cancelled, and this one that I just booked. Let's say I show up to the parking spot right now. It's 10:30, so I can check in, and I can enter my check-in time. Let's say I'm coming right on the dot at 10:30. It'll ask me for my license plate again just to verify. And with this, it'll say processing my details. It'll take some time, and it'll verify my parking. The sensor will verify my parking, and it'll thank me for checking in. So I'll be checked in, and when I return to view my booking, it'll update my booking status to checked in. Thank you.
Okay, and as we can see, we have bookings. Right here in the Firestore, we have Nathan1. The license plate he added, the new Tesla, right? It is booked.
Yeah.
It was booked, and now it's been checked in, and we can see his old one, which was, if we can find it here, Nathan Binu 567 at Founders College. This is cancelled. It's still stored, and that's why it showed up on his View My Bookings. It's all saved in the Firestore, and we can always access it.
Alright, so now I'll be going over the admin login. So in terms of this, you'll either have the option to log in as a regular admin or a super manager login, which will only exist in one case. So we have this hard coded. So I'll just go through this. So we have set as the user ID as super admin and the password as super password. So the user can press login and the super manager login is successful. This will be only one account. You can access the open parking lot and space management services, which Ali will explain later on. You'll see all this. So this return to dashboard function works on the is boolean. So it's a boolean variable. It'll check whether the user is a super admin or a regular admin. Based on that, it'll return to the correct dashboard. So from here, I can also auto generate admin accounts. So I can also press view, which will show me the current admin accounts that I have generated. So I can generate an admin account and I can give it a unique prefix. So let's say I want to give it my name. So Harmandeep. I can just press OK and it'll generate an account with the username Harmandeep with YUPS, which is your queue parking system, and a strong, unique generated password. So I'll press OK and I can also view all these accounts that I've created before, and the one I just created, Harmandeep YUPS with this password, I can show. Let's say I'm a regular admin. I'm gonna log in with my username that I made, Harmandeep YUPS, and I'll paste the password that I had, and I'll press login. Admin login successful. I'll press OK, and then I can see that admin management panel only has two options. I can either just manage the parking lot and spaces or log out. Here I can see that I can manage the spaces, and when I press return, it'll recognize that I'm an admin, and it'll go back to the admin panel and not the super manager. And I can then press log out, and that's it.
So here I am a super manager logging in, super admin, super password, and I can open parking lot and management services. So what is the design pattern behind this? The parking lot is a composite and the parking space is the leaf. Each parking lot contains 100 parking spaces. So I'm going to create a parking lot just called parking lot. I add this lot. Now what has happened? What's happened is I can go to parking lot and you can see 100 spaces. These are all leaves. So I can go on my collection and here I have parking lot, parking spaces, and here's 100 in the Firestore database. And I can disable all of them, and you just saw all of them get disabled. This is false, enabled false, all of them are false. So this is emulating the putting it under maintenance. And now I can enable them all. And they've all been set to true now. And as well as the individual parking lot. What else I can do is I can also put the individual spaces themselves under maintenance by just disabling them. So parking lot 1 enabled. Oh sorry, this is the wrong. Okay, parking lot 1 is disabled. There, true. Parking lot 2 disabled, and now it's false. I can enable this and it's true. Now I can show how as a user you cannot book the disabled spots. So what I'll do is I have parking lot. You have to remember parking lot 1 is disabled and parking lot 2 is also disabled. The whole parking lot. I'm going to disable this whole thing. But in the Firestore you can see over here, very hall, the parking lot itself is enabled equals to false. So now we'll show it from the user side. Okay, so I'm going to create an account, ali1234 gmail.com, and password is password. I'm gonna log in. Okay, so here is parking lot, the one that I created. And you can see parking lot 004 is the first one I can book because I disabled parking lot 1, 2, and 3. And what else we can't see is very hall parking lot. It's not even an option, so we can't book from that lot. So I can't book the disabled lots. I can show that parking services. This is used. This implements the facade pattern. So basically, I'm handling all the complex enable disable functions and creations in the parking services.java. And I have in my parking component, this is the interface, and I have to implement these in the implemented methods. So this implements parking component. It needs to override methods. And so parking lot is the composite. Parking services, parking spaces is the leaf class. And this also has the parent ID. And it has override methods of the parking component. And last but not least, how have we been doing these Firebase functions? So I have initialized Firebase.initialization.java. Right here we are using our Google credentials and we are creating the first time Firebase by getting resources in our Google services.json. So what this means is it looks into the folder resources and it sees the Google services JSON. I can't show you that since it has private information. And it will create it through this. And then I have only one instance of this at any time because I'm using the singleton design pattern. So I can only call one instance or this same instance. So for the first time I run get instance. If there has been no instance previously, it will create a new instance. Otherwise, it will return this instance. And here in parking services.java, this is the actual Firebase, the Firebase command. Right here, I am hashing the data and I am putting it into the collection of parking spaces. This is for the add lot info. So I'm adding all the 100 parking spaces and the lot itself. And that lot is tied to the ID. Right here we have parking spaces, parking lot, and we have the sub collection parking spaces. So for example, Arboretum Lane, and then I can click Arboretum Lane's parking spaces and we can see all 100 of them in the Firestore database.
Hi, my name is Bhavni Kaur and I work on the front end. So this is the booking page. So in UI, I divided it into three panels, header, input and button panel. There's also method that loads user balance, fetches balance from the Firebase, and there's also method to show loads funds dialog that shows the funds when we click the so like these buttons like lock and space selection, time selections, and vehicle and um, plate numbers, and also the button panels like create, cancel, edit, extend, and return.
Thank you for listening to our presentation, and this is the end of our demo. Thank you.